Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. I've been trying to reach you. Martin God! This is about a king, and Rither's the match.
I can take care of myself.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left.
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Whoa, take it easy, sweetheart. Hear everything they say, ain't you?
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance. What's black and blue and dead all over? You. Take it.
I got you! I got you!
Watching every feature film that stars a certain King Crusader. Batman! Yes, of course I'm watching the cartoon and all 3 Lego movies. Batman! Sing it with me. Batman! This is Big Screen Batman! Oh, oops. Oh, Batman.
Happy Batman Day, citizens of Gotham, and welcome back to a Geek Mentality special podcast, Big Screen Batman. It's been, I think, 3 years since I did an episode of Big Screen Batman, and I just happened to do this on Batman Day. I swear I did not plan this at all. Look, I'm wearing a Batman shirt. I don't know if you can see it. I watched The Batman. I'm here to talk about The Batman today, and it just so happens to be Batman Day. I promise you, I found out about this maybe a half hour ago. I saw someone on Twitter wrote, Happy Batman Day. I said, today, September 21st, we're celebrating the 85th year of the Caped Crusader, of the Dark Knight, of Batman, and today is the day that I decided to finally rewatch The Batman and finally do a podcast about it to close the loop on Big Screen Batman for now. Today's the day. I promise you, from the little bottom of my overlarged geek little heart, that I am telling you the truth. This is completely a coincidence that I am rewatching The Batman and talking about it today. really the reason I rewatched it, I chose today, is because The Penguin is on Max now. And I thought, well, I want to watch The Penguin, but I kind of want to rewatch The Batman one time, almost like a prequel to The Penguin, even though this is going to be, I assume, mostly its own thing. I want to kind of get in the vibe, get the feeling. The last time I watched The Batman was in the spring of 2022. Was the first time and the last time I watched The Batman. Spring of 2022. It was on Max. I finally saw it on a tablet, on an airplane, flying to Florida. The movie was so friggin' long that I did not even get to finish the movie while on the flight. I finished it that night at my mother-in-law's house on the same tablet, and then I drove it back from Florida to Massachusetts. But that's something I only talk about in almost every podcast I do. In fact, I'm 2 months away from driving her back to Florida. So maybe if you come to this YouTube channel, you'll see more videos of me talking about that. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for finally me revisiting The Batman. I started to watch it maybe a few months ago because when I went to Max, it said resume. I said, oh, wait. And I never finished it. Yes, it is a very long movie. We're talking 3 hours. I mean, a little less if you include credits. But I really enjoyed this. The second time around, I enjoyed it even more. Like, all the performances, I quite enjoyed. I know people talked about emo Batman. That was maybe the only thing. I was like, brush your hair out of your face, Bruce. Just move those tufts. I mean, if I had that hair, I don't think I'd brush it either. I'd just leave it there and be like, deal with it. This is how I look. I'm gorgeous. Deal with it. But this was, so the last time we spoke about Batman on this podcast, it was Ben Affleck. He was playing Bruce Wayne and the Batman, or Batman. And he was doing it for Zack Snyder. And he was doing it in the Suicide Squad. And, well, I guess technically, the last time we did talk about him, he was here. Well, is it maybe the last time we talked about Batman, it was George Clooney, because we talked about The Flash last year on Movie Month, which is also Geek Mentality. It's a different playlist here on the podcast, on the YouTube channel, but for the podcast listeners, it's all in the same place. So we saw Clooney in that weird Flash movie that I remember really liking when it came out, and I haven't revisited it, and I'm not sure I feel like one day I should just rewatch it, because there's some fun things in it, even though it's kind of the almost the end of the end for that version of our characters in DC. But it's weird because that was going on at the same time this movie was out, and there's a sequel coming out, and there's a Penguin show and that was in development, and yet the Zack Snyderverse was still, I'm not going to say thriving, but it was still kicking. It was like, like those last moments, like, oh, is the body's twitching? Oh, I guess there's still some life in it. But it was Affleck, and then Affleck was going to do his own movie. I don't know if he was going to work with Matt Reeves, who isn't he I almost said Gorillas in the Mist. He did some of the Ape movies, right? Did he do the first two of the new Ape series, Planet of the Apes? I don't know if he was always attached. I believe originally it was Affleck was attached. He was going to write this. He was going to direct this. He was going to star in this. And I was all for it because, as much as I do like Affleck, I really like the movies he's made, or at least the ones I've seen. Argo, Gone Baby Gone, The Town. I'm a fan of all those Affleck directed movies. I never saw the one where it was like a 20s crime boss, even though my wife and I did drive over to the town where they were filming it and saw a scene being shot. So that was kind of cool because it's the next town over. Speaking of towns, I just found out that the mayor of my town passed away this evening, and it was weird because the movie I'm watching deals with a mayor dying. I mean, it was very different circumstances, put it that way. But it was just weird, like seeing a text from my brother. I was like, whoa, the mayor, while I'm watching this movie, the mayor. Again, neither here nor there, but I just thought I'd mention that for whatever reason. So back to Fantasyland. Affleck's out, and all of a sudden Robert Pattinson's in, the guy from Twilight, who, by the way, is a friggin' phenomenal actor. I liked him in Tenet. Tenet's confusing, but I liked him in it. My friend Chris is always after me to see Good Time, which I have not seen, but maybe someday I will, Christopher. What else have I seen him in? I don't know, but The Batman, he was great in that. And that Mickey 17, I just saw the trailer for that, and that looks pretty wild and a very different tone than what I thought, and it looks pretty great. And he looks pretty great in it. But look, for years, everyone questions everything with Batman. Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice, Heath Ledger from A Knight's Tale, Brokeback Mountain. Oh, and then now Robert Pattinson, the vampire. Oh, is Batman gonna glow? Oh, is Batman, gonna twinkle? Twinkle in the light or whatever? I think I saw the first Twilight movie. How about this? How about trust? There's reasons why these people were chosen. Okay, not every choice has always been perfect, but I feel like these most recent ones have been, or at least the last few series of Batman. What am I saying here? The Nolan Batmans and these Batmans, who are very similar in tone, were, nailed it with the casting. This almost felt like it had a Finchery feel to it. As I said, long movie, Fincher tone, very, very dark, very moody. There were a few things that I noticed that were just, I think of as different from the other Batman instances. First of all, Bruce in this, so far, he isn't playing like a playboy millionaire hiding out in plain sight, like, oh, look how much I'm just a brainless, bimbo-loving boob who just spends his daddy's money. No, he's just kind of a recluse who's never around. I like that he doesn't live in Wayne Manor is in like Times Square version of Gotham. And I like that he is in already with the kind of just like part of the situation going on in Gotham. Part of not all the cops accept him, especially the dirty ones, but he's still like part of the process, at least for Jim Gordon, who I don't think he's the commissioner. He's captain or sergeant or something. But I'm assuming he's going to be commissioner after what happened to the commissioner in this movie. What's his name? Wright. I can't think of his first name right now. He was just in that American Fiction movie, wasn't he? Up for Jeffrey Wright. He's always great in everything he does. And he's great at Gordon. It worked. Andy Serkis as Alfred. That was great. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. Great. Like, I even liked, obviously Colin Farrell as the Penguin. That was fun. And I'm excited to see where it goes with the show. You got John Turturro and a whole bunch of other people as well. But I just, and Barry Keoghan. He's, at the end there, that little tease. I watched the deleted scene where Batman interviews this guy and you kind of realize, oh, that's the Joker. But they in this episode, in this movie, they tease him at the end there with the Riddler. And I almost forgot about Paul Dano. Paul Dano is an incredible actor. And even though he just plays the dad in this movie, The Fabelmans, he's so great in it. I remember I've seen him in that. I've seen him in Swiss Army Man. And now this. These are the three that I remember. I mean, I've seen him in other things, I'm sure. But he's always really good, and he plays it, the Riddler, great, I think. And he has that weird kind of just like next door guy that looks like a creepy neighbor, just happens to be a psychopath. I thought it was great. I thought everything was great. Oh, and as I said, the Batman's kind of, he's not just hiding out. He's going to clubs dressed up as the Batman, beating the crap out of people. He is at he's showing up at crime scenes with, even though some of the cops don't want him there, he's showing up at these crime scenes and he's kind of helping out and he's trying to figure things out. So I like all that. What else? Like Alfred. I like that Alfred's more a little like like a dude who can, kick a little ass. You didn't really get that with Michael Caine. You definitely didn't get that with the dude from the original movies. Not so much with what's his name there, the guy who plays Scar. Why can't I remember his name? Oh my God, I'm looking right at his face in my head. That guy, he was good. He was good for Affleck, but he wasn't like Andy Serkis. You feel like reminds me more of the Alfred from the Gotham TV show, where he's like, "All right, Governor, I can scruff up a little bit and I'll go kick your ass as well." Just like almost like if Jason Statham was Alfred. That would be wild. Maybe in 20 years we'll get that, or even 10 years. So I really like that. They also had a woman working there too, the maid, or I don't know what she was, but she helped out Alfred. And she was there when Alfred got blown up, but thankfully he's okay. The whole movie was, you think the Riddler's the villain. Well, it's weird because it's almost a crime mystery with that Finchery feel of, and maybe it just reminds me of Zodiac with all the ciphers and the puzzles. You got that going on. You got the criminal aspect of the underworld going on. And all that's wrapped up. And you're like, you did it. We got the Riddler. Maroni's been taken down. Falcone's been killed by the Riddler. Zoe Kravitz, she at least, they get their revenge on him. The bad guy's taken away. Now we realize that probably, what's his name? Falcone is in on the killing of Thomas and Martha Wayne. We're all good. Oh, wait, a bunch of bombs. And now we have this giant set piece of a Gotham Square Garden being flooded because I guess Gotham's a little bit below the water, and we get that huge set piece at the end basically Madison Square Garden type thing in the arena where Batman's beating the crap out of all these sycophants, these losers who work for the Riddler, and but then he also just gets to help people, and the whole movie is I'm vengeance. He's not, I'm vengeance. He's just like, I'm vengeance. And then he realizes when he sees one of the ruffians say, who are you? I'm vengeance. He was like, not a good look. I'm going to change it. Now I'm hope. I'm hope. And I'm a bat. What else? I like the bat signal. I like a lot of the motorcycle stuff. The scene where you think the Batman gets shot. It's Zoe Kravitz tries to, finds out that her friend's dead. And then the Penguin's like, I got to get out of here. And all of a sudden, in the darkness, you see the glow of the Batmobile. I was like, I actually said out loud, because it's literally been a couple of years since I've seen it. I loved that scene. I thought this Batmobile was cool. It was just enough. It wasn't this crazy Tumbler. It wasn't this ridiculous Corvette. It was just enough. It just did enough, and I thought it was cool. But again, he's been Batman for 2 years, we find out in this. He looks like he's already put away the Joker based on at least the deleted scene. That's how that guy got in there. But I always feel like when Falcone goes down, Maroni goes down, that's when you start to see the beginning of the super criminals. But if the Joker's already in Arkham, and now the Riddler's there, the Penguin, he's out and about, still doing his stuff. Catwoman's not a villain in this. I don't know if we're gonna get are we gonna get Scarecrow again? Are they gonna break out of Arkham? Because remember he said everyone loves a good comeback. We are getting the Batman 2. This is disconnected from the world of. This is disconnected from the Joker because the Joker would be a prequel to this. But is it? I forget. Is this Elseworlds for the James Gunn stuff too, or is this going to be connected to that? Because this easily could be connected to that. There's no problem. This isn't connected to anything. It's its own thing. So I feel like maybe Superman next year should be connected to this Batman, or let it be its own thing for a while. Then at some point bring them together. I don't know. All I know is obviously I love Batman. Obviously I love Superman. Look at the hat. So as long as we're getting more of that, I'm excited. And I'm just excited that I finally am talking about this movie. I know I'm not doing it justice. I just watched it. I hit record on my camera. I hit record on my microphone. And thank God I'm actually recording. I had to double check that. And I just talk about the things that I really liked about it. The music, I liked the music a lot, but every time I heard it, I wanted to sing the Darth Vader like dun 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 dun. It just reminded me of that every time, but I still liked it, and just the tone, the aesthetic, pretty much everything I like. They're afraid of Batman. The symbol is not just to let Batman know that he's needed. It's to let the criminal element know that Batman's out there. He could be anywhere, and he's going to take you out. And that kid at the beginning, I'm pretty sure he ended up being in the DC show Titans. He was somebody in that. Some like future Robin. Was he Tim Drake or something? I forget. I still have a season of that I didn't finish, which I want to someday. So I'm just excited to get to kind of finally revisit this movie and get in the mood to watch Penguin. It premiered the other night. I haven't watched it. Tomorrow night, I think the second episode starts. I think it's now going to be every Sunday. So I'm going to catch up and watch both of those tomorrow. I'm not going to podcast about them, I don't think. I mean, maybe I will. If it's not big screen Batman, but that doesn't mean I can't do another episode. I mean, there are no rules, or if there are rules, I made them up and I can break them. Hee hee hoo. So I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to add. Just really, really happy that I rewatched it. Really kind of looking forward to seeing the Penguin, and just really excited for the future of DC in the movies. Yes, I can still enjoy Marvel. Yes, I loved, I almost called it Logan and Wade, but it's Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, I didn't almost call it that. I almost called it Logan and Wolverine, though, which would be weird because that's the same person. So, look, I like it all. Give me good movies. Give me good stories with the characters that, some of them I enjoy. Some of them I know and love. And I'm a happy nerd. That's all I can say. So, that's it. Happy Batman Day, everybody. And I hope you celebrated it well. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Mastodon.social. Threads, did I say that? All that stuff, at Geek Mentality. You can find every episode of every show I do at fansnotexperts.com and on the Fans Not Experts YouTube channel. Happy Batman Day. That is it. I am done. So, this is part of Geek Mentality. So, you know what comes next, right? If you're, one of the few listeners, one of the few, the proud, here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kind of not actually playing. I'm just pretending. Hope I'm timing it right. Awesome. Mom said. I know I got it wrong. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Fans Not Experts.